Good morning, comic fans. With the Comic Pusher at the Comics Club, Tampa and Brandon's favorite comic gaming store. Well, what a month we've had. You know, there was 5 Wednesdays this month, but we didn't get to take advantage of every one of them because we had 2 hurricanes. We had 2 hurricanes hit us in the month of October. Hurricane Helen, whatever it was, it caused a lot of bad damage up north. Also knocked out a day of our business that week. And then the following week, we got hit with Hurricane Milton, which was devastating. And a lot of people had a lot worse than us, but we did lose business for 4 days because of Hurricane Milton. So it has been a rough month here at the Comics Club. It's been a rough month for a lot of people. And I feel for everybody out there. Some of my customers lost all their comic books in Milton, and I can't even imagine how heartbreaking that is for them. Hey, Steve Fisher, how you doing today? I don't know how bad or if the hurricanes affected you where you are in North Carolina. I know a lot of people up there, or you're in Virginia now. I forget, Steve. Where are you at? North Carolina or Virginia? But it just the repercussions, the rippling effect that a hurricane, especially a bad one, has throughout our local economy. Every time a hurricane comes through, there's some effect. We always lose business, unfortunately. But when a bad one comes through, there's an economic effect that ripples through the entire community, and it's pretty tough. And so the fall is one of our slower times of the year. I don't know about comic shops in other areas, but for us, the months of September, October, and November are pretty slow as we lead up to the Christmas season, the holiday season. And so to have a hurricane come in and knock out a week of your business is pretty tough. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there who lost a lot of things, and you had tornadoes in your area. No real trouble. I'm glad to hear that, Steve. So like I say, it's don't forget your small businesses out there who may have not suffered physical damage to their inventories or to their buildings, but maybe suffering some economic damage that might be tough for them to get through. Well, let's get through today. Today, I have something to show you. This is not a comic book thing. This is a gaming thing. You know, the Comics Club sells comics, games, and toys. And this is a beautiful book for Dungeons & Dragons fans, Worlds and Realms. And what this is, it collects. It's a big, beautiful hardcover book, and it collects stories from the worlds, all the different realms of Dungeons and Dragons. And this is what Will Wheaton has to say. Worlds and Realms is a masterwork of in-universe storytelling and organic world building that narratively unifies the D&D multiverse for the first time in its history. It is for everyone who skips the stats and tables to devour the narrative details of the campaign setting and the legendary heroes who define them. It just is a beautiful book. If you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, man, this is a book for you. And you can get it today at the Comics Club. So there's that one. We also got this restock in. Haven't had these in a while. Black Panther, Marvel Studios, their Funko t-shirts. These are extra large. I got a few extra larges in. Most of us who shop here are extra larges. Anyway, so we have those in. And I'll tell you what, they're normally $19.99, but we're selling for only $12.99. What a deal. What a deal. Get yourself a Black Panther t-shirt for Halloween. Why not? Speaking of monsters, Halloween, Godzilla's 70th anniversary. This is the 70th anniversary hardcover book from IDW. What a beautiful book it is. And it's all about Godzilla, celebrating 70 years of Godzilla. And there you have it right in there. Ooh, piece of paper. All these Godzilla stories from IDW celebrating it. So there's that. We also got the latest volume of Something's Killing the Children, volume number 8. If you're a fan of Something's Killing the Children, I am. What a great story. This would be, if you haven't read this and you wanted to read some horror for Halloween, this is the perfect series to do it with. I do believe we have the number ones in. I'm hoping we do. But anyway, we do have the reprint of issue number 1, if you're interested in getting it. What a great story. Really keeps you wondering at the beginning, what's going on here? And they fleshed out an entire history, a whole world where there's these families that go back in history that have been dealing with things like this. The Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers, High Times and Misdemeanors. For all you fans of underground comics from the 1960s, the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers were always one of my favorites. They always went on wild adventures, and this one is High Times and Misdemeanors, and it collects a lot of the color and black and white stuff from the fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. All right. Also, there's an animated series starring Woody Harrelson, Peter Davidson, John Goodman, and Tiffany Haddish on Tubi. So if you want to get some cartoons of the Freak Brothers, you can find them on Tubi. We also got the new previews in. If you're looking for all things independent, they're in here for the most part. For all the indies that aren't exclusive with some other distributor, this is Diamond Comic Distributors catalog, and they've got comics, games, and toys, and all kinds of fun stuff in here. So be sure, if you know when you come to the store, if you want to just look through it, you're always welcome. Look through it cover to cover. If there's anything in there you're interested in us ordering for you, we'll be happy to. Hey, Two Gun, good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. I am so happy to have everybody back and have the show back on after having so many problems this month. After the hurricane came through, the very next episode we tried to do, there were so many problems with the local internet and communications that the show just kept blanking out on us. So it was a disaster last week too, or the week before, whichever. I've lost track of time too. I have to keep looking at the calendar and the clock to know what the heck day of the week it is, which day of the month it is. So there's the new previews, and of course Marvel gives their previews, tells us what's going on in their upcoming world. So don't miss the copies of those. I'm sure DC will have its version of previews, which they call DC Connect, out next week, I'm hoping. We also got a restock on Kingdom Come. This has been my absolute favorite DC story of all time, and you can't beat the amazing artwork that's in there. What a great story. If you haven't read Kingdom Come and you're a DC fan, especially if you're a Superman fan, this is the story you need to read. What great stuff. DC also puts out comics in what they call DC Compact Comics. It is a smaller version. So this is a compact version of this trade paperback. You can see how they are smaller and more compact. So great for traveling, take it to the park with you, lounging around. It's a lot easier to hold than the larger ones. It just makes it easier. But you get the full story. Everything is in there, cover to cover. And we've got All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. Great stuff. Also, Wonder Woman Earth 1. And another thing about these, I like what they do. They have this little notation here, and this one says fantasy. And so they're given to different categories. This one's science fiction and fantasy. And Watchmen, they put in as a thriller. So if you haven't read Watchmen, oh my gosh, this is my favorite dark superhero story. Absolutely. So if you're into dark superhero stuff like Invincible, okay, and things like that, this is the story for you. You'll love that. It'll be great. Highly recommended. Okay, got quite a stack going over there. We have a really not a very, very big stack over here. We've got about 8 inches of comics this week, which is not surprising because they had 5 weeks, and usually the skip week, the 5th week, is considered a skip week, and a lot of comic shops comic publishers don't produce anything really for that skip week. So it's kind of a lighter week this week, but we do have some really good stuff. So even though it's a smaller stack this week, it doesn't mean it's not a great stack and great stuff. We have a lot of cool variants coming up, which I'll show you right now. I hope you made out well. Two Gun, where are you? You're out west, aren't you? You're nowhere near where we had hurricane problems, I don't think, right? Or are you up in Ohio? I've forgotten. Let us know. Where are you regionally, and how's your weather? I heard they're having a heat wave up north. Halloween is going to be 80 degrees in some places. California, how beautiful. Well, you've got your own problems up there, fires and earthquakes and all kinds of stuff too. There doesn't seem to be any way to get away from Mother Nature's vengeance on us poisoning her. Anyway, here we go. We've got, this is a Black, White, and Bloodshot number 2. This is a 1 in 10 variant. They're reviving the Valiant universe once again. Jim Shooter's original stuff. Here we go. Thundercats, issue number 9. This is a 1 in 10 foil. All nice and shiny for you. For those of us who love the gimmicky stuff. Thundercats number 9. This is a 1 in 10. Starring Chitara on the cover. And these are, this is a crazy world. It's a Sweetie Candy Vigilante. And Sweetie Candy fights in a world where candy is the dominant thing. She goes up against giant gummy bears. What can I say? So these are 1 in 10 variants, I believe, all Virgin covers, and we also have the regular covers. I think a few of them at least might be hitting the stands. But here we go. There's that one. All of her stuff has candy themes. It's kind of silly but fun. Those are Swedish piranha fish. Just silly and fun stuff, right? Okay, there's those variants. Got more. I've got more. Sectars. Do you remember Sectars? The comic, the toy, the TV series. You know, it's one of those things where they put out a toy. They want to put out a toy, but they make a TV series, and then they make a comic book, and then they put out the toy. So that's Sectars 1 in 10, number 1 from the new Sectars series, just hitting the stand. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 60. It's an oversized book, and it's 1 in 25. Wolverine Revenge is hitting the stands. This is issue number 3, and we have the 1 in 25 cover, as well as this is their Redline version. This is a 1 in 25 Redline, which is like the more graphically violent version of the regular one. So if you like your comics violent, get the Redline version. This was supposed to be in last week. I think we had some problems with damages and stuff. So this is Vicarious number 1, the Unlockable edition. If you were seeking that out last week, it's here today. Action Comics number 1073, a 1 in 25. We got a young Clark here, or just a boy who wants to be Superman. We have the little dog. He's on a farm. He's a white dog like Crypto. He's got his S shirt. He's got a cowlick. Sure looks like Clark. Supposed to be Clark as a kid, eh? Interesting thing is, though, in this universe, Clark was never a Superboy. I don't believe he never had a Superboy upbringing in this universe. Is is this not still? Are we not still with the Superman, the Clark Kent that created by John Byrne at Post Crisis on Infinite Earths? It's still that guy, I believe, the one who went up against Doomsday and recovered from his fatality. I do believe that would be, and if that's the case, he was never Superboy in that universe. So, Poison Ivy, Swamp Thing, Feral Trees. This is a 1 in 25. This is a cover by Ashley Wood. And if you're not familiar with Ashley Wood and Ashley Wood comic art, go Google Ashley Wood. Go see the wonderful stuff you will find. All right. There's that. We're going to launch the new comics today with one that isn't new and yet it is at the same time. How can that be? How can a comic be new but not new? Well, it's a second printing, of course. That's how. This is Absolute Batman, second printing, and I only have a couple of them. You know, this same thing happened to us. And I kick myself every time. The same thing happened to us with Ultimate Spider-Man. When we had to order the second printing, it had already gone into a second printing before I'd even sold any of the number 1s. And I'm already having to order a second printing. And I've got a stack of number 1s like this. Like, do I really need the second printings? You know, and I don't even know if this is going to be a hit. There was a lot of buzz about this, but a lot of negative buzz too. There was both sides saying, "Oh, this is going to be crap. Oh, it's going to be awesome." I was on the awesome camp, and I think it is awesome. But that second printing, I only have a couple of copies here. Want a second printing? You better come fast. Also, I have third printings on order. We'll have plenty of third printings. But if you do want a third printing, let us know. Don't wait till the last because I might run out. And speaking of that, they also went into a second printing with the All-In Special, which is the first appearance of those characters, the first brief appearance. What some people call a cameo appearance. I don't like the word cameo. A brief appearance. So this is that, it's that flip book. You get one side, you get the Marvel, the DC Justice League basically story, and then you also get the Dark Side story on the other side. Really good stories, great stuff. And we also got a blank cover that in. And like I say, I only got a couple of copies of those. I was trying to get more if I can, but I doubt if I can get any more second printings. Third printings, though, we should have plenty. And sorry about that, guys. And sometimes it can be very challenging to try to order comics so far in advance because you just don't know. And then the comic comes out in your stand, you have 30 of them sitting there. Do I really need a second printing? So sometimes you find that in between situation. So my guess is the second printing is going to probably be rarer than the first printing, and third printing is probably not as much, but you never know. Could be just that hot that we're going to go into multiple printings before this thing slows down for the demand. Action Comics number 1073. I have a couple covers for you. There's that one. I'm liking this artist. He's been doing several things for Action, several issues. I'm liking him. And this one, Mon-El. He was one of my favorites. He's when I was growing up, I loved the Adventures of Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. And Mon-El was one of my favorites. He was very much like Superboy. He had all the powers of Superboy, but he was allergic to lead. Lead was his kryptonite. So he had a hard time making it on Earth. But they had ways around it. This is the Multiverses, by the way, issue number 4. Well, this is on the back. They show us McFarlane toys. I'm not going to have these, but it's a Batgirl motorcycle. Look at that thing. That's hilarious. All right. The Nice House by the Sea, issue number 4. Some wild cover art there. I'm liking it, though. Except for the strangeness of it. It looks like some art that you might see in the New Yorker or something. If you're familiar with the New Yorker, it's a magazine. Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, issue number 2. That's a 10-parter. We got a few different covers to choose from here. There's that one. This one, ooh, the Penguin. And this one. And look what they did for us on the back. Oh, I love those little extra bits of artwork for us. That cool, evil jack-o'-lantern with a Batman mouth and nose. Okay, Poison Ivy, Swamp Thing, Feral Trees. I haven't read this yet, but it's intriguing me. I'm going to have to read this. Absolutely. I mean, it's a perfect team up. Swamp Thing and Poison Ivy, right? I like the axe they're carrying there. Going up against trees with an axe. Feral Trees. So we got some wild trees they're having to deal with somehow. Wonder Woman Uncovered, issue number 1. Has a few really cool covers on. I'm liking this. Look at that. I love Wonder Woman when she's in her rage mode, when she's really pissed off. And this nice foily one, There it is. That's the cover of it. It's the foil version of that one. And this one. All the fans surrounding her there. And then last but not least, from DC, we have the Penguin special, Tales of Gotham's Foulest Gangster. That's just a one-shot cool story there about Penguin, who's got a TV show. Jumping into Marvel and Amazing Spider-Man. Well, Mr. Happy would like to say that, those compact comic books, he's decided compact is the word. The secret word of the day is compact. Compact. If you know the secret word, it gets you 15% off any single item in the store. Some restrictions apply. If you're a Discount Club member or subscriber, 20% off any single item. All right. Thank you, Mr. Happy. We'll see you next time. All right. Don't forget to leave a comment down below so I can enter you into our monthly drawing. And this secret word lasts all the way until next secret word in the store. So limit 1 per person per day. Don't miss those. And hey, while you're sitting there, just hit that thumbs up. Why not? Give us a thumbs up. I make no monetary at this point off of this, but it's always nice to see those little extras crop up. I'd have to do a whole lot more shows to actually make money off of this show. But I like to do it. I like to show our customers what's happening, what's hitting the stands in our store. And Amazing Spider-Man has, oh, look, it's a Doom cover. Doom is on everything. If you hadn't noticed, it's just one of those things Marvel does. A character gets hot, and suddenly they're everywhere on every cover. There's this one, and this is an oversized issue number 60, and it's a little thicker. I'm really loving this art here. That is awesome. And this one, which is in the main cover, and this one by Adam Hughes, which is very funny. It's a funny cover. Adam Hughes. Everybody loves Adam Hughes art. It's very cheesecakey. How about that word? Cheesecakey. Wolverine Revenge. We have several different covers and even one other version to show you. Ooh, that had to hurt. It's going to leave a mark. And this one without his mask on. And then the red line, which is the more violent, graphically violent. Chasm, Curse of Cain, issue number 3. I think that's Peter Parker clone right there. Chasm. Deadpool is teaming up. He's got some team ups going on. Issue number 3. Greg Land there. And Namor, we're up to issue number 4. Guy flying in water. Oh, flying in water, I think. I think he can self-propel, though. NYX number 4. Ooh, what the heck's going on there? Phases of the Moon Knight. It's multiple stories in here, and there's a manga story. It's out of the ordinary, but really interesting. I'm not a huge fan of manga comic books, but some of the cover art here has been amazing. Promoting the manga story inside. It's not all. There's several different stories, but as you can see, this one has a manga style to it. And this one on the cover, got a manga character on the cover there. Who is that behind her? Who or what is that behind her? Predator versus Black Panther, up to issue number 3. A couple of those for you. And Venomore, Fantastic Four, number 1. Been following Venomore. It's all kinds of stories tying in. Star Wars, Battle of Jakku, Insurgency Rising. 3 different covers for you. Anakin when he was young. And I believe that's Luke, eh? There he is. Skywalker. Venomore Zombiots. Like symbiote, like zombiots. Ultimate X-Men number 8. Look at that cover. I love this artist. It reminds me of Plop. Remember Plop? That's way back. It's like Mad Magazine. It's called Plop. And this kind of art was very dominant. I'm not certain if this is the same artist or if he's just mimicking them. I have to look into it, but I love this style. I just think it's fantastic. Monster High Halloween special. So we got something for Halloween here at last. If you're a Monster High fan, if you're a Star Wars fan, Star Wars Adventures, they don't have Halloween in the Star Wars verse. They do have Life Day, though, which is kind of like Christmas, I guess. Something like that, or I don't know. Life Day. My Little Pony. This is the Storm of the Zephyr Heights. It's Sonic, issue number 74. There's a couple different covers for you. Blood Squad 7 Strike File, issue number 1. Dwelling, which is a horror comic. the outside looks very cartoonish until you give it a little bit closer look, and then on the inside it also has these little characters, but they're not kid stories. They look like children's comics, but they are not. Do not confuse them. Knights versus Samurai. We're up to issue number 2. I showed you the variant of Sectars. Here's Sectar number 1 regular covers, and I got one more to show you as well. That's a regular of the Virgin one we showed you earlier, and then there's also this one. Do you have little ones? Do they like Sesame Street? We have a Sesame Street comic book. It's up to issue number 3. There's that one. There's this one, and then they also do a coloring book version of it, so your little one can draw some coloring pictures on it. Too bad I don't have little packs of crayons to give out with it. Okay. Spawn number 358. We got the Virgin cover, the regular cover, and we also have what's coming next week in Spawn 359, or next month, actually. And Spawn Kills Every Spawn is up to issue number 4 of a 5-part series. We got one more after this. And that's hilarious. Spawn kills every Spawn. For some reason, he's decided to kill all versions of himself from the multiverse. So there's that too. That's going to be the cover of next issue. That is wild looking. Defenders of the Earth, we're up to issue number 3. There's that one and this one. Feral, that's that story about those cats. This is the second series, I think. Feral number 7. Hey, Big Al. New listener in the Brandon, Florida. Shout out to Big Al and Andy. Hey, how you doing there, Big Al and Andy? Gather your pennies together, boys. I might be there Saturday to relieve you of your poker money. Red Sonja. I know you're playing tonight. Nah, I don't think I can make it tonight, but Sunday, we're all going to the Renaissance Fair down Sarasota. So I got to get up the crack of dawn. So I can't stay late poker Saturday night. I'll only have to stay a little while to take all your money. Red Sonja, number 15. Some of my poker buddies breaking into the chat. Red Sonja, although I'm told Al's going to be a comic book fan. He's slowly inching his way into it. Red Sonja. Michael Linsner. You know, we love Michael. He's a great artist. And Black, White, and Bloodshot. You know, we got a lot of different covers to choose from. There's this one. How are we for time? We're doing well. There we go. There's that one. There's this one. There's that one. And this one's a version cover of that one. And that one. So all those for Black, White, and Bloodshot. Issue number, what is it, 2? Yeah, issue number 2. Sweetie Candy Vigilante. I showed you the variants before. There's that one hitting the stands. There's this one, her Swedish piranha fish inside, it says. And there's this one. She's battling a giant gummy bear in New York, or the equivalent in their world. Uncanny Valley. We're up to issue number 6. It's an interesting cover there. Uncanny Valley. Dune House Carino is up to issue number 7. And Thundercats. Last but not least, we have Savage Sword of Conan, and we're up to issue number 5. It's a magazine size. And next issue. A little bit of action from next issue. Well, there you have it, boys and girls. There's the final installment of this program, Good Morning Comic Book Fans. We had 5 Wednesdays, but we didn't have 5 shows, unfortunately. We had all kinds of trouble. So please do be sure to go and get your comment down below so I can enter you into our monthly drawing, which, if everything goes well, next Wednesday is our drawing. So I hope you can make it for that. And we got new slabs. If you're not local, be sure to check out our website. We got a lot of new slabs that hit. We're going to have some more coming in by December. We're hopeful by the second week of December we'll have some more graded comic books coming at you, and we're going to have a lot more in the coming year. So I want to be your go-to place to get your slabbed comics. Not get them done. We don't offer the service, but we will have a lot more to offer in the coming year. That and some graded cards too. We have a lot to do. So guys, thank you so much, and gals, for joining us today. And we hope to see you next time. And remember, read. It brings out the hero in you.